Class. Here we are, folks. We're Wednesday, March the 24th, Art 21002. And I am about to isolate this hair so I can put a filter on, a dust and scratch filter. And I can do that. I can isolate this hair in a number of different ways. I'm going to choose, try this selective mask module. And I'm going to try to do this with this object isolation tool to see how that works. Not very well. So Command Z. So I will try with the brush tool. This is a bracket key I'm doing to make that brush bigger. And option scrolling in, bracket, left bracket, making the brush smaller. And I'm going to go in the bangs. I'm going to use this space bar. I'm going to use this edge tool, which is that one. Remember, that one bigger. See how this is working. Go back to the brush tool. This refine edge. Oops. I got off to the side, and so I'm using the option tool to toggle, like the X tool when you're not, the X key when you're not in this module. Toggles, adds, and subtracts. So you get the idea here. It's good enough for now. And oops, Command Z. All right, so layer mask. Okay, there. I have it. Oh, I must have been on the wrong layer. There is my mask. Isn't that something? I was not looking at my layers palette, layers window, and I did that mask on the background layer. Unbelievable. What should have been on this layer, and I was on that layer. I made a mistake. So how can I fix that? Well, I can go back and do it again, or I can, what that did, or I can go and make this a selection. And I can use my command key to make it a selection with a keystroke, a load selection, background mask. Okay, now I'm going to go up to this layer, and I'm going to make sure that that's a selection, this isn't. Now, all I have to do is make sure I'm on the window and go Command J. There, I've got the here, selected by itself. Now, that was kind of a convoluted way to solve that problem. And I don't really like the selection I made. But I'm going to go down here, and that is masking out the background. So I'm going to delete layer mask. There's my background back. There's my figure. There's the hair. So let's do that over again, and I'll do that in a different way, and it won't be convoluted. But I could use it, go back and do the select and mask again, or I can do it this way. I can go and there's more than one way to do this. I could go and I wonder if I could go and do it simply by doing this with the what's in here? This. I'll try it right here. I'll go right here. I'll try just the hair here. And there, that picked it up. Now, of course, I have don't have it here. So I can go and take my freehand lasso tool and hold my shift key down and grab that, or I'm going to go make my foreground background color black. I can go to the quick mask. There is the quick mask, and I can come in here and now I go X because I'm not in that module. Of course, I got a soft brush at 60. I'm going to go X. And the problem here is that is these bangs, and that only in this select and mask module can I get this really selected because of that refine edge tool really well. There was before this select and mask module existed, there was another way to do this, but you can't go in here and try to do this by hand because it just doesn't work. It always shows your see, I'm doing this by hand here. It shows your gesture. So I'm in this, I always want to remember if I'm in this quick masking what I want to get out of it. So I'm going to go over here and click it. There's the selection. Now I think I'll go back here to this select and mask and use this refine edge tool and come in here and get this. So it looks natural. And then I'll go and see, I don't have mine, but you can't see the layers, so you don't really know. You got to make sure you're on the right layer. Output to layer mask, okay. And there I have it. I'll output to layer mask, but I've lost the figure. So oh, I know what I did wrong. Select a mask. Output to layer, new layer with layer mask. That was my mistake. New layer. So you can make a mistake. You got to go back and take a look and figure it out. New layer with layer mask. Okay. There, I did it. So there's a hair. There's the figure. That was harder than it should have been. But at any rate, we saw it solved a couple different ways. So now I can come up here, and all of that was for this. I'm going to come up here, and because I don't want to do it on the face, I just want to do it on the hair. So just to show you again, there's the hair. And a little bit of the bang spot could have been better, but it'll work. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go make sure I'm on the picture, this frame. because I'm going to put the filter on here, not on here. So I got to make sure I'm not on the mask, I'm on the filter, or I'm on the layer, not the mask, to do the filter. Push it back. Bring this up a little bit so we can see it. Spacebar. Filter noise, dust and scratches. So here it is. I got to go over here and this preview window is, and I can go up here and make this bigger so you can see it. There you can see what's happening. And it's blurring it, but it's getting rid of all of those little blue things. Oops. There you can see it happening. Does this take a half a pixel? No. It can be 3. 3 is, you can see it here. It's pretty soft. Should it be 2? And this increases the contrast. And so we want that down there at 1 threshold. 2 is good enough. All right, now when I'm done with that, I'm going to come up here and look at this. This is what I got. Command Z is an undo, so there you can see it. Command Shift Z is a redo. So Command Z, that's what it was. Command Shift Z, and that's kind of worth it, I think, to do that. And now I've got to come over here and with the one of my, I'll use a rubber stamp tool. I'm going to come and fix all of these things. And something I'm going to check up here. Opacity is 20%. That's my problem. 100%. And of course, you can do that opacity by the keystrokes. 20% is 2. 100% is 0. And I got to go with the strands of the hair to make this look natural. And that is how to do the hair. Does anybody want me to demonstrate anything else on this picture perfect? You gotta speak up if you do. Are we all set? We're all set?
Can you show how to do the teeth?
The teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I did the teeth here already. So I'm gonna have to go down to the background layer. And just for demonstration, I will duplicate this. So I always have a pure retouched background layer. And I'm going to get up close, and I use the best tool to do this is the tool that picks the pixel up and transfers it, which is the rubber stamp tool. You got to get up close, and that's pixel level. You can see the pixels, and I'm going to push that back a little bit more. So there, and I'm going to go Option, and this takes time, and it is. You got to be very careful, but because what you're really doing here is painting like a painter, because there's not much here to move. There's not much to see. I'm moving these pixels with the rubber stamp tool. One more time, very carefully. And I got to get a little more darkness over here and go like this. And take I hit the 7 and I took the opacity down. Now I'm gonna hit the 0, put the opacity back up. Come in here, brackets to make my brush smaller. And just carefully, because there's nothing there. It's just scratch marks. So I gotta be creative. Brush up. So far, I'm getting a rough solution here. I'll do a little bit here so you can see it better. And then I'm going to have to kind of blend it. Do a little better job here. The teeth are the hardest because they're not only the teeth, but they're got this big scratch in it. So now I'm going to try to go back here. I'm going to take this down to 50 and try to blend this in better. And let me take this back up to 100. Do a little bit so it looks better. I'll get a little bit going on. And so now I'm going to take this down to 50 and try to blend this a little bit. And that's starting to look all right. It's because I got it on a lower, I'm going to go opacity that I'm able to blend it. I'm going to take a little of this over here and blend it. And I'll work on this tooth a little bit. So this is kind of how you do that. I'm going to come down here, fix this, take this up back up to 100, 0 on the keyboard. So I don't have to come up here all the time. It makes it a lot quicker. No, that's not bad. Now, so that's not bad. 40. And you get the idea? Yes?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so if I get back here and see, it's starting to work here. Of course, you got to fix these, of course. If it starts to look, you could get it so it's so dirty, you need to go over here and get a highlight from over here. It's down to 40, option, click, and bring it over and highlight it. But that, in my version today, right now, it looks to me like it's too light already, but some other will make it too dark, and you maybe have to go and get a highlight. I want to point that out. But right now, it looks like it's, after I finish it, I'll see, oh, is that little tooth jumping out of the mouth, or is it falling back in? In mine, I'm guessing at it right now that it's jumping out. So I'm going to go do 3, option, and push it back a little bit. That's 30%. Push it back a little. Anyway, so you'll have to check that out. But there you see the whole face. You get the idea. Any other questions on this? No, we're all right? Okay, so do we, let me see what happens here. Do we, spring break, do project 2 picture perfect? All right, so I'm going to show you how to submit this. And if you have any questions, you can submit it after class next week. We don't have to submit it before class. So if there are any last minute questions on how to submit this, we can do this again next week. But so let's say I have this all set and like that, and this is retouched. So I want to save it. I want to flatten it, and I have one that's retouched here. So I'll pretend that we have saved it first, then flattened it, and there it is. And so what I want to do, that's the finished one. That's the version of this, if this was finished, flattened. But you saved the layered one. This is all for you. It's not sent to me. You save the layered one. So you really have that before here and the after there. So I want to go File, New, 811 by 8.5 by 300, Create, because this final one here is image size. The before and the after is 300, and that size will fit into 8.5 by 11. So I've got a new file here, and let me float that. Let me go over here. Let me grab this and drop it in. There it is. There's the after, and here is this is the one that you have layered. That is so it still has that background. I can grab the background layer and drop that in. There's the before, and I want these to line up like they do. If I hold my shift key down and select both layers, I can move both layers. So I move up a little bit. And then I want to go to my type tool and type before. Oh, I certainly don't want it purple. I don't want it that big either. So let's put this back into the application frame. Okay. It's not going. Oh, it's up there. And before, then I want to go up to highlight this. Go to window. Oh, I could do it up here. I could go channels, or no, character. Character, or I can do it up here. Take this down so it doesn't need to be big. Before, this is like a portfolio piece. So when you tell somebody that, oh, I can retouch really well. Well, how? I don't know that. Well, here, look at this. This is my retouching skills. This is how good I am. You got to have a before and after. So this is really a portfolio piece. And I moved that by holding my Option key down and just dragging it, and it made a new layer and the word moved. That's how I did that. And this is the name. All right, so when you get this done, you flatten that image, merge down, that in flatten. Flatten image. And then you don't save it over, well, no, you can save this for yourself, But you could either save this, drop this in the Dropbox, but if you and then you'll need to email me a copy, and it would be nice if you made the image size half, and that way it won't get clogged up in my email. Okay, then save this file, save as. So you know what it is. And I'll just say project 2. So there, that saying is saying everything what it is. Oh, except for I wanted to say, let's do one more thing before we do that, which is we've got this as a tint of sepia, old fashioned. Let's make this contemporary looking by all I have to do. I don't have to do a layer adjustment layer because I only want to do it to this, and I can do it right on this layer. At any other time, we're going to be doing adjustment layers, hue saturation. But right now, you could do that, then you'd have to flatten again. Or you can just go to image adjustment, hue saturation, and this is the selection, colorize, and take the saturation down, and you can make this a perfectly looking, brand new looking black and white photograph. Take that saturation down like that. And that's what I'm asking for. Okay, so now it really looks like the retouched, and now we've got something brand new, and we also made it a nice black and white photograph. And so that is what you are then going to go file. You can put it in the Dropbox, or if you like, the reason why this is image size, this is 300. Well, this is not 300 now, but the reason why it is, you gotta have to retouch a very high resolution like 300, but you afterwards you can take the resolution down. And the only reason I'm suggesting that is that it will transfer to me and to Dropbox easier. So you you can go down to 150. All right, questions? Everybody got this? Yes, yes, yes. Kevin, how you doing out there? Okay. All right. So now we're going to something else now. I don't want me to say this. I'm done with it. I'm done with this. No, I'm done with this. We're going to something else now. This is what we just did. Climate change. And then, well, let's do climate change, not worry about and then. Let's do the climate change first. Tutorial 9 is coming right up. Is coming. And what we're doing here in tutorial 9 is introducing the five things you have to be able to do in the next project requirement. Maybe I'm looking for the 5 things to show you first off. And they are 6 techniques. I think it's only 5. I count 5. So we're going to do the next project we're going to do, or tutorial we're going to do, is a review of the 6 techniques: layer mask, layer styles, adjustment layers, smart objects, filters, modes. All right. So let's see if we can cover those in landscape tutorial 9. And I got to pick up the landscape. The Levi. The Eiffel Tower. And this is my demo, which is like my instructions to myself. So we're going to end up looking like this. I'm going to pull this over to my other screen because then I'll work on, and that's the layers for what's on the other screen now. This is what we got right here. And I want to go and actually start. Got all these tabs open now. And well, I got that there. This is like a tower. But I really want to stack this a little differently. Landscape, that's a landscape. So there's a landscape. And the Eiffel Tower will be on top, so I'll move that. And there's a landscape. There is Levi. Pull that off and drag that over. I open these up so I'm not bringing them from my desktop or my folder so that they're not smart objects. So there we go. So the first thing I want to do is make Levi fit the frame. That was Command T or Edit, Transform, Scale. And I just have to scale that guy up and hit the turn. And then I'm going to select, get rid of the background. And everybody knows how to do that. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. This is a review with adding some new things to it, this tutorial. So I don't know, how should I do that? Should I go select the mask, use the module, and then try to see if this this works? Should work. Oh, it worked beautifully, except for the trees. Oh, I bet you I can use this brush, this edge tool for the trees. No, the wrong tool. It's that one. Beautiful. Look at that. Just getting a hint of those trees. It's worked so well. That's what this module does well, is that edge thing. You get some fuzzy, edgy things that you can't get with anything else. So there, I can do that. Now I got to remember that I have all these different opportunities here, but I want that one. New layer with mask? Oh, no, I don't. Layer mask. I want them on Levi's layer. Okay. Yay. Worked beautifully. Now, I could demonstrate another way to do that, but that was the best way. So, there's Levi. And now I want to make the climate change because, and it's in Paris. It has to be in Paris. So I'm going to go. So I got one of the things I have to do, which is we have to do a layer mask. I'm going to go adjustment layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. I picked that because it's great and it's dramatic. So I'm going to use, I want to use the previous layer to create clipping mask. That just by habit, that means it's linked to, it's clipped to this layer, that color adjustment. So I'm going to make it hot. I'm going to go this way, hot, hot. And then I want to go and say that it's not hot yet where Levi is. So I'm going to take a gradient, and I got to check my gradient, and it's black to white. Now I'm not sure if it should be black to white or this way or the other way until I do it. So I'm going to guess at it and change it if it's wrong. So I go like that. If I hold my shift key down, it makes a straight line. That was set up right, but I want a little more. So there we got blue sky and the red sky. And then I want to introduce something else here, which is a horizontal mask, type mask tool. I think I'll do this a couple different ways. I'll do it this way first. So, and bold, I got mirroring bold condensed 14 point. Probably that's going to want to be bigger, I'm guessing. And there it is. It's going to be bigger now. Can't. Oh, I'm going to do all caps because I want to see. Oops, all caps. So I'm really typing into a mask right now, just to show you something different. Because there's all kinds of things, and you're getting just a sample of it in this class, and you can go on and on and on if you so choose to. I can see the future, explore all these different opportunities. I can type this into 44. So. 44. Yeah. I can see the future. And then when I click on the move tool, it turns it into a selection. And I don't want to move anything. I want to move the selection. So I'm going to go to the selection tool to move the selection and make sure I'm here. So he is then moving that right down there. Now I could go and make this. This is just a selection, and it's sitting on that layer, adjustment layer, and I want to make it on its own. So I'm going to go layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation, and I'm not going to select this button. I'm going to see what happens because I kind of want to go through the whole thing. So I'll go OK, and now underneath here is the properties, and I can see what happens. What happens? Saturation. Wow. Wow. I can see the future, and I can move this around. There it is. There it is. Move this around and look, it changes color because it's not clipped to anything. It's going straight down. It changes color. I can see the future. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. And you can see the clouds and stuff through it. Very neat. Very neat. Now let me try a different version of this. I'm gonna go back to try it a different way. A little more traditional. This isn't editable type, by the way, because it's through a mask, and I can turn that off and it goes away. All right, so this is editable type. Oops. Now I've got that. What can I do with that? I can see the future. What can I do with that? I could go probably put a mode on it. Or did I have to? Let's see. No, modes will work. There, overlay works. So there's a mode. That is another one of our 5 techniques. I can see the future. Another way to do that. A mode. That changes the color as well. And I got another trick, but I think I'll save it for the next tutorial. So that's pretty neat. 2 different ways to do this. That's enough. So let's go, let me check and see if I got reading anything. Color balance. Oh, color balance. Before I we'll take one of these off. We want to do adjustment layer and make Levi's head feel the heat. So I can do like layer, new adjustment layer. Should I do it something else? Color balance. Just to do something else. Use previous layer. Okay. There's the color balance adjustment layer clip to Levi. And we'll make him hot. Red hot. Facing the heat. And of course, because this is a mask, I can come in here. I have my caps locks on because I was typing caps, and that's why that cursor is on X. And if I take that cap, because it is identifying the pixel that's underneath that plus, I take that caps lock off, I get to my regular normal cursor. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to put a soft, I got a soft brush going on because I want to cut through. Now it's not doing it. And the reason why is I got a toggle foreground background color, which is X on the keyboard, so you don't have to go over there. Oh, you got to go the wrong way. I want him cool in the back, hot in the front. So there's Levi. Using the mask that's inherent in there's a mask in this adjustment layer. That's what I painted, just to make sure everybody gets it. And there I can see the future. And then we want to go and do something goofy, which is make the Eiffel Tower melt. First of all, I got to go Command T, edit. Well, I'll do the keystroke this time. Edit, transform, scale. I have all these other ones too, right? And we're going to use a goofy one, which is Puppet Warp. But first of all, no, I don't want to rotate it. Escape, disengage, edit, transform, scale. I want to make Eiffel Tower fit into the frame like that. Return. Now I want to get rid of the blue and just leave the Eiffel Tower. So I'm going to do that this way. This time, as everybody knows, more than way to do this. I'm going to go. I'll make a selection first, or do I make the mask first? And I'm going to go this quick selection tool, and I'll make the selection first. And that was easy. And now, except for on the top, I didn't get it all. So I'm going to go and make my cursor a little smaller, hit Option. That's the same as this minus button, Option, and then make my cursor a little bit smaller, Option. And then I can adjust this on the mask. So it doesn't need to be perfect because it's a mask. Now we know why we need to learn about masks. Layer, mask, reveal all. You could do any of these, but I always use reveal all. That's the top one, and it's simple. And I make sure that I understand what the selection is, and it's this. I can see that. I come over here, hit delete. Oh, nothing happened. What do? I forgot it. Oh, I remembered. X, delete. So there we go. And there's an edge pixels up here, so I got to use my paintbrush and add to this mask. I'm on the mask. I got this frame going on here. So when that is the wrong thing, X, that's the right thing. I'm just talking. You got to toggle further on background color, and sometimes you don't know. In fact, most of the time you don't know. And then I can go and get rid of this building here. Maybe I want to make this soft. I'm just painting on the mask. Leaving these little trees here just for fun. Do I want to worry about this? I could. You could get in there and worry about that, or not, because it's just a tutorial. In your project that you're coming up with, which the next project after Picture Perfect is going to be a montage of photographs and type. Same kind of technique, same kind of approach that we're doing right now and the next tutorial. And you've got to use typography with the image. So this is kind of a setup for that, in a quasi-introduction. Now, my problem here is that the Eiffel Tower is not hot. And so I have to go down and put it under this hue saturation so it gets to this orangey ready tint. So I'm going to drag it and then drop it down and watch what happens. Oh, it clipped it. Oh, it worked perfectly. I thought it was going to break this clip, but it didn't. That little arrow means that this is clipped to this layer, this is clipped to this layer, and the orange is still working. It's not, it hasn't been broken. Now, just so you can see this happen, I'll break it. So I'm going to break it by holding a keystroke down, Option, and you see that arrow come up, click. There, I broke it, and it still works. Well, that's great. If I wanted to reconnect it, I can go. It's still working because this layer does not have a is not clipped. And this is what, when you're doing it, I'm going to do this just to explain this a little better. If I go like this and I use this is the clipping mask. Okay, and I do that and it makes that little arrow and it goes down. And if you don't do that, it's going to go, the adjustments will go through to everything, which is okay because everything underneath it, we want it to be red. Eiffel Tower and the jungle. Now I can go over here and go layer, and here's where it is. Create clipping mask. There, I put that clipping mask back, but there's the keystroke to do that is Option. I undid it and I redid it. Now, and I'm going to explain this again in our next tutorial, because if you get a kind of a command of how these things work together, you can do some very interesting combinations of color and form. So anyway, we were talking about the Eiffel Tower melting. So I'm going to go over here and go edit and go, we'll try it two different ways. Perspective work. Oh, I want to show you that too. Transform, scale, rotate, skew, distort. Well, here's distort. Now distort works with oh, there I can kind of leans. I don't want to do that. Edit, transform, warp. Oh, this is interesting because it has these handles. This is a path is actually what's going on here. It has these handles that can move, warp, make the Eiffel Tower melt. All right, so that works okay, but this one is really hilarious. Let me get closer here. This is hilarious. Puppet warp. So it puts this mesh on here. I gotta set pins to keep it stable, let's say at the bottom. And then I'm going to set a pin up here and then bend it. Melting out the top. Fabulous. So that's that. That is that. I can see the future. And this is actually on top of Eiffel Tower, but the color changes. Yeah. I can see the future. Pretty neat. I do this, I've been doing this over and over again, and it's have fun every time I'm doing it. So, folks, what do you think? Any thoughts out there, Jenna? You got any thoughts today? No thoughts. Any issues out there? Eleanor, you have any issues?
No, I'm good.
You know how to do this?
I think with practice, yeah.
Okay, well, it's great fun, and I want you to bring all this stuff into the next project. And the next project is going to be presentation, project 3, type and image montage illustration. Is anybody ready to start this? No, yes, no?
No.
Yes.
Not yet.
Which is that one of my younger students? I don't know if I should present this now or I should save it till after the break because the picture.
Can you save it till after the break?
All right, let's hear somebody else. One person is going to make the decision on what's going on here. Tiffany, you are our leader. No? Eleanor, what do you have to say?
I also think save until after the break.
All right, Kevin, it's your turn.
I was going to say I'm good with right now. Like with doing it today.
You're good right now?
I was trying to say I'm good with learning it today.
You're good with letting it. Didn't hear.
Learning it today. Learning it today.
Oh, you're good with learning it today. How's your picture perfect?
It's pretty far along. I'm almost done.
Jana, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I would prefer to wait until after the break as well, just so we can get these 2 projects done first.
All right, well, Kevin is the only one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a quick preview of it right now, and then I'll do an in-depth preview after the break when Picture Perfect is done. So very quickly, it's here and you can review it. There it is right there, Project 3. You start at 8.5 by 11, and you have to go and look for photographs, and the photographs or illustrations, but they have to be your illustrations or your photographs. They can't be in somebody else's artwork. The photographs that you choose do not have manipulation. So you try to find photographs that are straight, and that's almost impossible because everything's been color corrected now. But anyway, you do the best you can because you're going to be the artist. You're going to do the manipulation, and there are a minimum of 4 photographs and 3 words, and the words have to have a relationship to the imagery in some way. And I'm going to go into depth with that next week and show you in the next tutorial. And there is these directives to Command Z. Command Z. Space. I'm in InDesign now. These directives choose one of the following concepts to illustrate. 1, 2, 3. So read those over, and Kevin, you can actually do that. And if you want to get a start on it and show us where you're at or not, it's up to you, or anybody else, because this should be fun. And it's kind of like using these techniques, and I'm going to show you some more techniques because we didn't do Smart Object. We'll do that next week. And we're going to use all of those 5 techniques plus Tiffany, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question about that one right there that you're showing. Do we have to use the same text or
Text. What about the text?
do we have to use the same words or can we use a different phrase?
I want you to use the, you can use a different phrase, but I want you to try to use one of these effects here.
Okay.
What
But
happened?
we
What happened? Oh, this was a mode. I lost the mode on that. There's overlay. There's soft light overlay. All right, well, there's a mode. So there's a mode. You do one of these, so you, or both of them. It's up to you. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Are you gonna have a happy, Logan, how you doing? Chase, how you doing?
Super.
Super. Can you say to all of us, happy spring break?
Me?
Yeah.
Happy spring break, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to hear your voice. Anybody have anything else to say? Andrea. Andreas.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Then that's all for today, folks. Enjoy yourself. Bye. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.